Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajwa and I hope this video finds you well. If you are new to this place, please consider subscribing, and to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I truly appreciate every single support. So how do you envisage a powerful man or woman to smell like? My personal definition of a person of power is someone, who is in a position or who is affluent to be able to influence a decision. And for such people, sometimes they are groomed when they get into this position to be able to carry themselves with some aura of mystery, not to be able to mingle with us the commoners or a commoner like me, just to groom themselves to be able to differentiate or stand out from the ordinary people because they are powerful, they are influential, they are affluent, they influence. In this video, I have 10 fragrances that I believe or envisage powerful men and women wearing. These are not necessarily the most mass appealing ones because I don't think a very powerful man or woman will be wearing sweet, lovely, girly, inviting, mass appealing fragrances. That is my thoughts. I could be so wrong, but I guess I have envisaged something in my head that I associate with power, and that is like mystery, aura, not so approachable, bold, a bit polarizing. The very first fragrance I have here is one that I had in my collection and decluttered simply because that is not me. I'm not powerful, to that extent. It is too bold, too overconfident, too polarizing for me personally, and that is Opulent Red by Lattafa. Personally, I will not recommend it, but I'll give it its flowers when it comes to being a very powerful scent. Yes, I'll give it to it. It gives me that very powerful man or woman who is not to be messed with. It is not friendly, it is not too mass appealing. To me, it is very rigid, very hard to appreciate. I don't necessarily see it as a pleasant fragrance, but it has this sort of powerful aura about it. It is very bold. If you are in a position of power and you know the places to wear to the environment or the people, when you have some very powerful dinners, very powerful people, of affluence or influence, and everybody is trying to, show off because, everybody is powerful and you want to stand out. That is the kind of fragrance you go for. It's very bold and in your face. So that is Opulent Red by Lattafa. This fragrance is going to fit a very bossy, untamable, uncontrollable, all in his head or her head sort of boss, and that fragrance is Mahaair Black. Talk about polarizing, talk about obnoxious. If you want to exude power, boldness, confidence without opening your mouth, Mahaair Black by Lattafa is one fragrance. Personally, there has never been an occasion I will feel so confident to rock that fragrance. On a man, it is much better than on women, honestly. The only way I am able to wear that fragrance is combining it with other feminine vanilla fragrances. That is when it makes a lot of sense. And I'm not ready to declutter that particular fragrance because it has something special about it. There's something about it that I feel I can potentially wear it out on some special occasion, but I haven't found that special occasion yet. It is a no nonsense. It is not playful. There's nothing playful about these fragrances that I'm talking about. They are all sort of strict. They don't come across as very fluid, gentle, mass appealing. So that is what Mahaair Black does to you. If you want to feel powerful, make a bold statement, I will highly recommend Mahaair Black. The next fragrance I have here is Saheb by Ard Al Zaafaran. That is a little better in that although that one comes across as a bit mass appealing, it is too formal for me. To me, it is that office CEO strict fragrance. It doesn't come off as playful. It doesn't come off, as very mass appealing. Although it is much better than a lot of the ones that I'm going to talk about, it still has a sort of strictness. It is not too fluid. It is not too much of a mass appealing, likable, sweet scent. It is quite citric, quite fresh, yet very woody and earthy. It is quite strict to me. It doesn't have much of a personality to me. Saheb doesn't really have much of a personality. Some people are in power, but they don't have much of a personality. Although they are able to make the decisions, their personalities are not really there. You can't really tell when they are happy, when they are sad. They are so indifferent about everything. Probably it's part of the whole power thing, and that is how I find Saheb. It is just a little too formal for me. I will not recommend that for date night, for romantic, trying to be romantic and all. I don't think Saheb is the fragrance. It's like powerful CEO, powerful boss, powerful supervisor, that sort of boss formal setting. Aside the office setting or a meeting, you know, amongst peers who are quite powerful, I don't think I'm going to recommend Saheb as a very romantic, mass appealing. It has the ability to wow a woman, but that is not the number one choice when it comes to being on a date. So when it comes to powerful fragrances, Saheb by Ard Al Zaafaran. The next fragrance on this list is Lattafa's Ramz Gold. When you first acquire Ramz Gold, you might be put off if you don't have the patience to wait on it to macerate. Honestly, if you don't have the patience for it to macerate, you'll be so turned off by this particular fragrance. It is not super mass appealing. It is quite earthy, quite fruity with the apple and the pineapple. But there is something about that particular fragrance that is quite obnoxious. My bottle, for example, has macerated for over 5 months, but there is still something about this that does not really sit well with me. And I think a lot of people have complained about this as not being too much of a mass appealing scent. It has the potential of being quite a mass appealing scent, but there is also something that's restricted. It is quite obnoxious. It gives you that sort of aura about a powerful person who doesn't want to be too friendly. You know, it is quite approachable but not too friendly. If you are looking for something that is going to make a bold statement yet give you an aura of mystery around you, you don't want to be too approachable, I would highly recommend Ramz Gold by Lattafa. The next fragrance on this list is for that CEO, that powerful man or woman who has a bit of a personality. He is quite likable or very likable. People actually can approach him. There is still that sort of mystery around his power that you don't want to take for granted. And this fragrance is Lamar by Kajal. This is a very sweet, potent, powerful, very mass appealing, yet it exudes that sort of very powerful, confident person. You need to be very bold because as soon as you walk into any room, people are going to smell you. This exudes confidence, very powerful, yet very mass appealing. It is quite dense. Everybody around you is going to smell you. It is quite lovely. To me, this is like the boss who has mood swings. At one point, he's nice. At one point, he's not. Because when you spray this initially, you get a very sweet, juicy pineapple, and then, you know, it completely goes away and you're left with some roses and some powderiness, you know. So it develops and changes over time. It doesn't stay the same pineapple way, you know. So to me, it is for that confident boss who is also very likable, and that is Lamar by Kajal. The next bold statement fragrance I feel is going to fit a very powerful person, be it a man or a woman, is Rghba Wood Intense by Lattafa. That is a very sweet, piercing, yet a very confident wearing fragrance. You don't need to even do too much when it comes to Rghba Wood Intense. It can be a bit overwhelming, it can be a bit obnoxious. A lot of people may not appreciate it, you know. Although that particular fragrance is also quite mass appealing or very mass appealing because of the caramel, licorice, vanilla vibes it has. There is something about the spice in it that is a bit too much, you know. It can be a little too overwhelming, so you need someone with a very confident, powerful character or characteristics, or someone of influence to be able to rock it. I could be wearing something that someone might see as off-putting, but let someone of influence or power wear that same fragrance and people will strongly love it on the person. It just, you know, it's a psychological thing. Honestly, it's a psychological thing. One thing, the same thing might mean different things to different people at different scenarios depending on who and how the person is wearing it to. So you need to know how to rock these fragrances. They are quite powerful, they're quite potent. You need to be very confident. Sometimes you just need to put up a personality other than your usual to be able to rock some of these fragrances. So that is Rghba Wood Intense by Lattafa. The next fragrance I have here is Ateeq by Junaid. Don't be fooled by how it is described as a very delectable, delicious ice cream scent. It is still very powerful, considering that it has some cedar, some amber, some vanilla. That combination is sick. This is very potent. The cedar in this fragrance makes it quite powerful, quite potent, quite masculine, whilst the vanilla pulls that feminine aspect to it. It gives you that true, realistic gourmand vibes, ice cream vibes, but don't be fooled by how lovely this fragrance is. When you spray it and it begins to dry down, that powerful cedar, which is quite bold, quite potent in your face, you know, begins to show up. It is very strong. It can be a little obnoxious if you overspray this particular fragrance, especially in the high heat. This fragrance screams power to me. It is very powerful, very potent, very bold in your face, yet very likable. So that is Ateeq by Junaid. The next scent I have here is Paris Corner Killer Oud Sunrise. This is a very crisp, minty, citrusy, vanilla, amber sort of fragrance. It is not quiet, it is not too gentle, it is not tame, it is quite potent, quite loud and spicy, and that is how I see a lot of powerful men smelling. It's like a very powerful man having an off day but still wants to be in his element, and that is when he goes for Paris Corner, Killer Oud, Sunrise. Solei the Ombre Jacques used by Fragrance World is a fragrance that I will always recommend. It has a very powerful connotation. It is not super mass appealing. It has a very Middle Eastern nature because of the ouds that it has. A very woody fragrance, very bold, very potent. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but just smell this on a very well-groomed suit and tie powerful man, and you begin to appreciate this particular fragrance. It's a very unisex fragrance which leans a bit masculine to me because of the woods and the oud, but that raspberry, pulls you in. It's like a very powerful, confident man being sexy. That fragrance is the definition of a very confident, mysterious, yet a very powerful man. Solei de Ombre Jacques. And the last one I have here is Nawatique by Ahmed Al Magrabhi. This fragrance is very fresh yet spicy and potent. It comes across as very potent. I have always likened this fragrance to Nishane's Annie. Annie, for example, is a very powerful fragrance that I see a lot of men or women of affluence or power rocking, and that is the same feel that Nawatique by Ahmed Al Magrabhi gives me. It gives me all the spicy ginger basil Annie without the vanilla. To me, being powerful is about how you want people to perceive you. You can create the aura of power around you. It depends on how you look at yourself, how you carry yourself, how you present yourself, how you associate yourself with people, how you're not like too familiar with everybody getting access to you. When everybody gets access to you, that power is no longer as powerful as it is. That is why I have associated these fragrances with power. They are quite potent, not too mass appealing. Not everybody has access to them. Not everybody can come close to them. Not everybody will appreciate them, but they really serve a purpose. That is all I have for you today, and I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.